Hello you guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a little morning coffee chat slash just like life update. If it's a little darker in here, it's just because it's like a really gloomy week here. I just logged out of work for the morning. I'm filming this on my lunch break. And I really wanted to catch up with you guys and chat. I feel like especially going into the new year, there's so much to talk about. And I'm just gonna bring the camera down a little bit because I want to be able to like sit back and there we go. I want to be able to like sit back and relax. Last one I filmed was in November when we moved, but that one was still kind of pretty fresh into this house. And now that we've been here for a bit, I just have a lot of updates I want to give you guys. We have some big developments in our like elopement slash wedding situation, work, school, 2024 travel plans. I just wanted to, you know, catch up like a friend over FaceTime. So grab whatever beverage you want. I have a little coffee in here and I got a cute little floral spring mug to bring some happiness. It's been snowing off and on all week here, which I'll take snow over cold weather, I will say. Like, I think the -30, that's a little too much for me, but the snow I think is beautiful and she has her time and place, but that's also only because I work from home and I don't really have to leave the house. Let's start this with just like a little rapid fire, frequently asked questions, get to know me, because there's obviously gonna be a lot of new people around from like the holidays and stuff. I feel like that's always one of my biggest months of growth, and we just hit 95K, which is crazy. So I want to be able to like redirect people to this video if they have any questions. So obviously my name is Carter, I'm 26 and I am engaged to my fiance, obviously Matt. We met at work. This is our 5-year anniversary this year, which is kind of crazy. We started like dating in May of 2019. We have a 3-year-old Labrador mix named Stella, and now we have a second dog named Delilah. She is a foster fail, but we call it a foster win, and she is a mutt. We don't really know what she is. She came to us as a lab mix, but there's just like, there's no way she's a lab mix. She definitely has some black mouth cur and some hound in her because she has some pretty big hunting instincts. So I did get asked to, we will probably DNA test her one day. It's just like not a financial priority right now, but we would love to know what she is, because I do think that part of being a pet owner is doing as much research as I can into the breed that she is to make sure that we're doing the most for her, and any breed specific conditions or training that would come in handy for us. We recently bought our dream home, which is a 100-year-old house in the countryside. So we moved about an hour outside of the city. And before that, we were living in a condo in the city, like a townhouse condo. And we bought that house in May of 2021. And then we moved out here in November of 2023. And I love it out here, but I also grew up in the country. So this just kind of feels like at home for me. I love living in a small town, and I honestly love being a bit further from stuff because it makes you realize how much like unnecessary shopping you do, if that makes sense. For the most part, all of our family is here in town. Matt's parents, my parents. I am really close with my parents. That wasn't the case growing up. My parents, or my biological parents, are divorced. I don't have a relationship with my biological dad. That's something that has happened in the last few years, and it's something I'm like slowly opening up about on my own terms, because it's sad, but a lot of you guys can relate. And I do share about it, you know, on Instagram sometimes, just about my feelings. And I just never want people to log on to social media and think like life is sunshine and rainbows. It's really not. So that was a development in the last few years, and I am really lucky that I have a really awesome stepdad who is my dad. I call him dad. I always, you know, I have. He came into my life when I was 4, and he, you know, really stepped up to the plate and raised me, because my biological dad moved to the States when I was 12. So I had to go through the brunt of it when I was a teenager. And let me tell you, I was a testy teenager, okay? And so yeah, I'm really close with them now. I obviously feel like as a teenager, I wasn't really close with my stepdad. I only say that so you can like differentiate, but now I'm really lucky. I'm really close with my dad, which is awesome. So if you hear me say I'm going to visit my mom and dad, they do live in town. I have 2 siblings. I have a brother who is in his first year of university, and my sister is in her last year of high school. We have 3 family dogs. We also have a horse. Like, I have a horse. A lot of you guys, or some of you guys, it's how you found my channel. It's how I started my channel, was horseback riding vlogs. I have a horse named Salem. He is an Oldenburg Trakehner. I'll put up some photos of him on the screen for you guys. And I've had him since I was 16. So it'll be 10 years, which is kind of crazy, or 16 or 17. I did stop riding a few years ago for health reasons. I have some resolved slip discs in my back. I had to stop riding a few years ago. Up until about last year of university, I was a pretty big rider. I spent like all of my free time at the barn. I rode probably 4 to 5 days a week. And then obviously like, you enter the adult world and life gets really busy. And my coach at the time brought up having him on an off-property lease, which basically means that she takes him to her barn and uses him in training and lessons in exchange for me not having to pay his bills. So that's our current situation right now. He's been on an off-property lease there for 5 years or so. Which has been really, really great during his senior era. And he does have arthritis, so it's really important for him to stay in work and be moving. And so it's really the best situation for him. I took a break from riding during the pandemic, and then I tried to get back into it, but my slip discs were just really, really bad. I also have a few concussions, and I was told that I should probably stop riding for the safety of my brain. I'm sure I will get back into it one day, honestly, but for now he's in really great hands. I do still own him, and then once he retires, whenever that is, he will meet us out here since we've moved now, and he will maybe retire out here or at my coach's barn. I'm not sure yet, but he's about an hour away now, so that is a little bit about that. But I did share so much of my riding journey growing up that when I do go to the barn, I just don't document that anymore. It's just a part of my life I like to keep private and kind of have for myself, if that makes sense. So that's a little bit about me. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. I'm currently in grad school for health services management, healthcare management, and obviously I work at the hospital. I actually just got my 5-year, well, I haven't got it yet, but I got my email for my 5-year anniversary, which is crazy. And I have done so much in the hospital over the years, if you guys are new here. In life, I have always worked more than one job. I have never not worked 2 jobs in my life, including now. Honestly, I work a corporate job and I do YouTube. Like, that is 2 jobs. And if you guys have been following me along throughout the pandemic, I had so many different jobs during the pandemic, which was so cool. Like, through the hospital, there was a lot of temporary positions. So in my 5 years of the hospital, I've actually worked at 2 different hospitals. I've worked in scheduling and staffing. I've worked in recruitment. I was a ward clerk for 3 years. I worked in IT and Epic support, data analysis and data administration. And I think that's, oh, and I have like my PSW certificate, so I did that as well. Now we're here as an education coordinator and I love my job so much. So that's just like a little bit about me. We'll get into work a bit more after. This piece of hair is pissing me off so much. I don't even care if this looks bad. It needs to be gone. So that's like a little bit about me. I'm also a hand talker if we haven't figured that out already. Who I am from a financial perspective. I started my personal finance journey because I had accumulated $10,000 in credit card debt because I was irresponsible. I was working in the hospital. I was making good money as a university student and I was blowing it all. I had not a dollar to my name. And when I moved out with Matt, I realized I really had to get my shit together. So I, during the pandemic, worked. And like the pandemic in Canada was like, I feel like longer than the US. Like it was 2 full years. I feel like all of 2020 and then like most of 2021, I worked 2 full-time jobs plus YouTube. So I was working like over 70 hours a week and I hustled to pay off $10,000 in student loans and $10,000 in credit card debt. So your girl knows how to hustle. Your girl knows how to work hard. I still am hustling and working 50 to 60 hours a week because so that's kind of how I fell into personal finance and documenting that journey as well. But that's just like a little bit about me as like who I am, I guess, you know, rapid fire frequently asked questions. So we'll just start with the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the wedding / elopement. I feel like I have no updates, but I also have a lot of updates for you guys. So we have finally decided on our plan. If you guys are somewhat new here, we got engaged in Florida last May. We've always known we didn't want a wedding, but then we toyed with the idea of a micro wedding. I feel like even with an elopement, there's so many different ways that you can do it that it's not just like super straightforward, if that makes sense. Like it can be, but there's also so many different steps and ways you can do it. Party back home. Do you want to elope and then have a wedding? And we finally decided on our plan, but we honestly I feel like it just clicked one day for us. So we plan on eloping, not in Ottawa. I had no interest in eloping in our hometown because we want to do it just the 2 of us plus our witnesses. We don't want any family there. It's just a personal decision. I just want to say that how I feel about weddings doesn't mean that if you do those things, it's wrong. These are just my thoughts. I could sit here and say that I feel like a wedding is a show, but like I have friends that are getting married, having beautiful weddings, and I'm so happy for them. But for me personally, a wedding felt like a show of not my love, just like a show. I'm putting on a show for people. And that's just not something that we wanted. But once again, if you have a wedding, I love that for you. I'm happy for you. It's your day. It's all about how you want to show your love. but it wasn't for us. Like getting married is such an intimate thing that I wanted no one there. I didn't want to share my love in the day. This day is about Matt and I at the end of the day. You know, at first we talked about maybe doing a micro wedding, but we wanted to do private vows, and everyone was like, well, why don't you want to share your vows with the world? Well, because they're my vows. Like, I'm making a promise to my husband. Nobody needs to hear that except for my husband and I. I think we're gonna do it on a trip we already have booked just because it kind of saves us money. Like, we're not planning a trip around an elopement, if that makes sense. And so I'm really excited about that. And then we plan on coming home and having a big party to celebrate. Like, I want to celebrate with my loved ones, just I don't want the actual affair of a wedding. In terms of like walking, for someone who puts their life on the internet, I'm actually really private. Like, I don't like being the center of attention. It's kind of ironic, I know, but I feel like a lot of people feel like that, that they vlog. It feels different, but I don't want to be the center of attention. And so walking down the aisle, not for me. Saying my vows and saying I do in front of people, not for me. Dancing in front of people, not for me. Speeches, they give me anxiety. So we're just not doing any of that. We did really want to have a party and celebrate with our loved ones. A few months later, having a party. We're just trying to sort out those details now in terms of, do we want to have it in my parents' backyard? Do we want to rent a restaurant? Or do we actually want to have it at a venue? Because I've been doing a lot of emailing, as a type A person does, and a lot of wedding venues, if you say that you are just having a family dinner or something, will charge you so much less. And we told them we were eloping, but we were like, does this go under a wedding reception or, you know, just like an event? And they said event. So if you guys are planning on eloping and having a party, I do highly recommend, if you want to afterwards, check out a venue, because all of our quotes were so much cheaper, and we straight up were like, we're eloping and we want to just have a celebration with our family. And it just irks me how you slap the word wedding on something and it becomes so much more expensive. Literally, we were getting the same packages event for 50% less than a wedding cost. It's just like a wedding reception. It's just mind-boggling. So we're just trying to sort out those details now, but we have picked a date in mind in 2025 to elope, which gives us time to save and kind of all that. So our plan is to elope next spring, summer, and then have, depending, like if we elope in the spring, we'll have a party in the summer. If we elope in the summer, we'll have a party in the fall. That's kind of the plan right now. And then in terms of content, I've been getting asked a lot, like if I plan on sharing any wedding content online, and I don't. Until after it's done. It's one of those things that I thought would just be really, really fun if no one knew about it until it happened. We're only telling our parents, that's it. Because we both feel like the more people that know, the more chances there are for them to blurb to other people. I don't know. I just wanted it to be really special and be a surprise for a lot of people. So we plan on just telling our parents. I don't even think we're telling our siblings. I mean, mine are younger, so my parents might tell them, but we really want to keep it super private until we come home and we can tell our family and friends. But obviously because of that, I won't be sharing any of the planning process online. And truthfully, with an elopement, there isn't much planning that goes into it. We just had to decide on a date, a place, and we're going to do it on a trip next year anyways, a photographer, hair, and we did want our best friends to be our witnesses, so we did invite them as well. But there wasn't like a ton of planning involved, which was really nice. And I don't really want to go wedding dress shopping. Honestly, that's not for me. Once again, I do not want to be the center of attention. I'm probably just going to order some dresses off of Lulu's and call it a day. Hopefully, at the end of the day, like the actual marriage is the most important part and our vows are the most important part. And yes, I want to feel beautiful, but I'm just not the kind of person who's going to spend a lot of money on a dress. I feel like I could feel beautiful in a $50 dress. Honestly, to me, the hair and makeup is more important than the dress. Like, I want to feel good in it, but like I don't need an expensive dress. So trying to do the entire thing on a $10,000 Canadian budget with the elopement and the wedding. We're going to get a photographer for our elopement. So our elopement will probably cost us about $4,000 Canadian. And then we're hoping the rest will be for our party back home. And then if we have any left over, that would be great. But that is the goal. That is the amount in mind that we have set, and we'll see if we can hit that. I'll obviously probably film like how much we spent on our elopement afterwards for you guys, and those videos are really interesting. I haven't really decided. I definitely know that we're gonna film it for the memories. I would like love to share it, just to like share it. I see so many beautiful elopement videos online. I also think it helps people plan theirs. So we will see how much we share. I also don't know if we'll share it like right when we get back or maybe a few months later. We'll have to tell all of our friends and family first, but that's kind of some updates on the whole wedding elopement situation. We have a date in mind for 2025. We have a plan. I'll be sharing the content afterwards just so I can kind of keep some things private. And obviously I can't tell you guys, but then like not tell, you know, like my brother and sister-in-law. So I think it's more fun to keep it private too. And then you guys won't know until it happens. And yeah, so that's all of that. Okay, let's talk about school really quick. I don't really have a ton of updates other than the fact that I'm taking a break. I am taking a break. I don't like talking about school, honestly, because the people in school online can be kind of mean. And I think that we should just like enjoy anyone who wants to go back to school, regardless if it's part-time or full-time. There's this sense online of like, you know, I'm a full-time grad student and I also work full-time. And, you know, I don't want anyone like me who's a part-time student to feel less than because they're not taking a full course load. And see, even now, like I don't want to share this because I'm sure people are going to be like, well, I work full time and I just go full time and I don't need a break, but I need a break. I need a break. I can't do it all right now. The goal when I signed up for grad school was to try and take some sort of sabbatical from work because they do offer education leave. But then my manager went on mat leave and work got really busy and it just like never really happened. And I really needed to listen to my body. I have 2 classes left and the 2 hardest courses, and I just knew with my mental health this winter that I wouldn't be able to do it. Even the fall, my mental health was really bad this fall and I barely got out of this course. Like I just coasted by with like minimum effort, and because I'm paying for it out of pocket, I just didn't want to waste my money if I wasn't going to be fully in it. So I am taking a break. I am listening to my body and my mind, most importantly. It was just a sign because I went to go sign up for the classes or see how much they were going to be and see if there was like a tuition raise, and they were both full, and I waitlisted myself and I didn't get off the wait list. So I kind of viewed it as a sign from the universe to just take a break. Truthfully, I'm not in a rush to graduate because I don't plan on changing jobs anytime soon. If anything, having this degree will just allow me to get a raise at work. I'm just really taking my time. You guys know I had a really rocky undergrad. I had a really awful, just toxic, abusive, manipulative relationship in undergrad. I was like skipping classes. I was failing classes. I got my PTSD diagnosis and I ended up having to take a 5th year because I failed like 6 classes in undergrad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And so to have kind of like a bit of a redemption of doing courses I'm interested in that I can apply to my job, and also, you know that like I am worthy of school and I can do well, is in itself just already very rewarding. Just really enjoying my courses and I want to take my time. So that's a little update on that. And I feel like no one talks about just being content where you are right now, especially with a job. So that's kind of all the updates on school. I guess we could just kind of segue into work right now. And honestly, work is good. I am going into my 3rd year in this job, which is kind of wild. I started in 2022. Nope, yeah, 2022, 2023, I'm going into my 3rd year in this job. If you guys are somewhat new, I am an education coordinator for a department in the hospital, and I organize national level conferences, which is why I can travel for work. And I also do recruitment, and like I do the whole HR cycle and financial cycle for the group of fellows, which is the stage after residency for our department in the hospital. I am a hybrid employee with no set days in office, but I don't have an actual office space, so I just don't really go in too much. That's a little bit about my job. I think this year I'm going to try something new. So right now I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like that's it. But I think I'm going to trial every week at the beginning of the week. I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I want to work 5 days a week, shorter days, like 8 to 1 every day, or if I want to change my work days. So I'm trialing some different stuff out. So if you see me vlogging on like a Tuesday, it's not because I'm working. It's just because I've decided to have Tuesday off that week. I'm trialing out maybe working Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Just trying some different stuff out depending on meetings and how busy my week is. So that's a little bit about work. I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon, at least for another year, just because I really enjoy my job. I'm still learning. The goal with my job is to hire someone under me and then hire someone for me and then for me to move up. So the goal is to get me an admin, and then the goal is for them to hire another coordinator and for me to move up to being maybe more of like a managerial position. Love my boss. I have the best boss literally in the entire world. He is so supportive of my social media. Even though he doesn't really understand it, that's okay. He's really supportive of grad school and me taking time off, and yeah, I have a really great boss. I know it doesn't happen a lot, but I do think a great manager is so key to having a good, healthy relationship with your job. So I feel really lucky that I have really flexible hours. It is the perfect job for me with YouTube because it allows me to keep up with my 3 videos a week. And also, I love having something outside of YouTube. I always get asked, I mean, I answer this differently all the time. Will I quit my job? Who knows? But right now I don't see it happening. I love being able to do something outside of social media. And by me having a corporate job, it allows me to be really, really, really picky with brand deals. Now, I'm not saying anything. If you have a brand deal sponsorship in every video, that is your prerogative. You do you. But by having that corporate income every 2 weeks, you know, if I am like, I kind of want to work with this brand, but they're not paying me enough, or like, I'm not sure if I want to work with this brand, but they're paying me a lot, I can just say no. And I try to have a really good balance with my sponsored content, and I am so insanely picky. Like, I'm sure my management team gets tired of how picky I am with my brand deals. Like, they're probably just like, girl, just take the brand deal. But I do so much research and I don't have any intention on leaving my job, but who knows? Some days I don't like my job. Even if you love your job, you're gonna have bad days there. And yeah, but I'm really grateful to be able to do both because I feel like it keeps that love of YouTube there for me because I have that corporate income as well. And so I, you know, can be really picky with my brand deals and still treat it as a hobby, even though it is also my job. Like, that is also what's paying my bills. But I'm excited to see what 2024 has to offer, like, for work as a whole between YouTube and my corporate job. So that's a little update there. Let's talk about the house next and kind of like the projects on the horizon for that. We have a lot. We did find out that the leak in our bathroom was coming from the chimney. So we are working on just getting that either capped or removed. Thank goodness it's not the roof. It was like truly the best case scenario. So that's good. And it's not leaking anymore. And we've had a ton of snow and rain. So really, really good news. We're working on getting a quote for that. But the goal for this year is like 1 to 2 major projects and then a lot of little projects, DIY projects. Obviously, we're super lucky that Matt is really handy, but I said this in another video, like, he has taught himself everything that he knows. He hustles to get things done by himself and get them done properly. I think I touched on this in my 2024 reset, but some of the things we're hoping to do this year, and it just kind of depends when, we are having a structural engineer come out to just assess our foundation so we can be very proactive with that. Hopefully redo one of the bathrooms. That's not like a huge priority. We would like really love to get more storage downstairs in our downstairs bathroom, but we just got scammed out of a washer and dryer on Facebook Marketplace, so we're taking a break from that. It's a touchy subject right now. It's one of those projects that I would love to get to. I'm just not sure if we will this year. It's not like the highest priority, but like also don't be surprised if we do it. We obviously need to figure out what we're doing with this bathroom. We think we're just gonna turn it into storage. We don't really need another bathroom since we don't really have kids. And so we're just gonna turn that bathroom into storage since it's kind of an awkward little space. And it wasn't a bathroom before the last few owners anyways. Like, it's just a really awkward space to have a bathroom, if I'm being honest. We will do the PAX wardrobe. That's a lot of our projects kind of like call to us, if that makes sense. So for example, we're not going to do the bathroom until we find a used washer and dryer that's like in good condition. Find that next week and do the bathroom, or we can find it in 6 months. That's why we're always saving up for home projects and just kind of having that money in a savings that we can pull from kind of when we need it. Same goes for like getting new furniture. I really want a new dining table, but it'll just kind of depend on when I find one on Facebook Marketplace. Same for, you know, the bedroom. I want to redo the bedroom. We're going to knock down the wall in the bedroom. Obviously, like, not all of this has to happen this year. It's just we're going to kind of pick and choose what we're in the mood for. Just getting new countertops. And then from there, I'm going to film a like $500 kitchen makeover video. I'm really excited for that. But I'm not going to film that till the countertops are in. So we're going to wait on that. And then the other stuff is really just like in the spring, we'd love to like work on the garden and the backyard, and you know, the house will probably tell us what it needs, you know what I mean? So those are kind of some of the things you can look forward to. And of course, I love filming it on like reels and taking you guys along in videos. Let me know if you guys prefer to see like renovations and stuff in their own video or like in the vlogs, just like as we go. And I guess let's end it off on just like 2024 plans, kind of YouTube, what to look forward to. Like, I'm really in my homebody era. I was before at the condo, but there's just something about this house that I feel really inspired to create content. I keep seeing all these videos on TikTok of like 2024 social media trends and how, you know, the everyday vlogger or TikToker is like really what's gonna blow up in 2024. And I just love that that's what social media has become about. It's become about the realistic everyday people and not this like unattainable lifestyle. I don't know. I just feel very at home with the content I'm creating. Like it makes me really excited and happy. And that's what you need to lean into. So if you guys are wondering what to expect this year, it's just going to be what you guys are seeing. Home projects, budget-friendly travel, some work travel, everyday life, honestly. And I just love sharing that. You guys have been loving the book content. I'm really going to be trying to put out at least one book video a month because honestly, those make me so happy. And I know it's not for everybody, but this will never become like a full-on book channel. Honestly, I love just like vlogging everyday life, but I also do love creating that book content, and I've just been having a lot of fun with it. I also feel like I'm finally finding my place on short form content too, and finding what to share on which one. And it's just been a lot of fun. And I have found where I belong, and I have found my people. Like you guys are my people and my community, and I love you guys so much. And anytime I ask you guys what videos you want to see, you guys are always just like, girl, just what you're doing now, like everyday life. We love it so much. And I just feel like I have the best community out there, you know, of just like people like me who like to read and thrift and stay at home and watch movies and be cozy. And I just really appreciate you guys so much. And in terms of travel that we have this year, let me kind of run through the year. So we have nothing. We had New York City in March to see Zach Bryan, but we actually ended up buying tickets to his December concert instead. We just really wanted to take this first quarter and prioritize the house. Obviously, you know, we only have so much money, and we had to, you know, make a really adult decision if we were going to go to the concert or if we were going to prioritize home projects. So much travel in the later half of the year with like weddings and stuff and just like adult things. We wanted to prioritize the house the first half of the year. So we aren't going to that anymore, but we are going to New York City in December, which is so magical. We are doing our annual May Disney trip, which will be our 1-year engagement anniversary. And I'm not sure for sure yet, but I believe Brianna and Corey might be coming, which is really fun. So stay tuned for a bestie vlog. We might also be going to Vegas in April. We're not sure yet. And if we do, we may tag on Disneyland since we'll already be on the West Coast, but we're not sure yet. Matt is waiting to hear if he's going to this conference. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to a conference in Yellowknife in June, which is really cool. I can't believe I'm just getting to travel so much of Canada, and it'll be really cool to be my first conference I'm going as an attendee and not the person planning it. We're flying in a day early, exploring, filming a travel vlog. I think that could be so fun. I typically travel a lot in the summer just because we want to enjoy the nice weather. I will be going to Toronto in July for a work trip for YouTube, and then meeting up with my 2 sister-in-laws and my mother-in-law and going to see a musical, which will be really fun. Matt's mom got us all tickets for that, and I'll just probably go up a few days earlier. I'll fly up for YouTube for like work. I meet up with my management team, and then we take different meetings with agencies, and either agencies that we have a relationship with and just do like a little catch up, or new agencies that maybe, you know, we want to work with in the future, because a lot of brands hire agencies to do their brand deals for them. Then in August, the end of August, we are so busy. The end of August, we are going to New Brunswick for a wedding. We're only going to be there for 2-3 days at the most. We fly home. Then we fly to Boston for Brianna and Corey's wedding. Then from Boston, I fly to St. John's for a conference, and then we fly home. Then we have nothing in October, and then nothing in November so far. And then in December, we are going to New York City for a few days to see Zach Bryan, which is so exciting. So that's kind of all the travel that we have coming up this year. I know you guys, you know, love following along on the travel adventures and stuff, and I'm really excited to take you guys along. I hope you guys enjoyed this little catch up. If you guys have any specific questions ever, let me know down below. DM me on Instagram. Like I said, I do Instagram Q&As like every 2 weeks, so that's a great place to also get like more real-time answers. But I just wanted to sit down and have a little life update with you guys, and I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye!